I know I've said this many times in the past, but by 1992, Nintendo really knew what they were doing with the Game Boy and putting out some really incredible titles, some of which being as good, if not much better, than things coming out on the NES at the time. Of course, by then, Super Nintendo was out as well. However, when you really get down to it, there are few games on the Game Boy that compares favorably as Super Mario Land 2: Six Golden Coins. This time around, there's no princess to rescue. Instead, Mario has to rescue his kingdom from an evil being known as Wario, who's kind of like a bizarro version of Mario. He's bigger, his color scheme's a bit different, and he's best known for being extremely greedy. Wait a minute, let me just backtrack for a second. When did Mario get his own kingdom? Well, my best guess is that the princess gave him some land in exchange for being rescued so many times. You know, granting him his own Super Mario Land, if you will. Anyway, Wario takes over Mario's kingdom and steals its greatest treasures, the 6 golden coins, scattering them across locations of the game, and it's up to Mario to take back what's his. Hey, it's a Mario game. Do you really need to have much coherent plot? While the game is light on story, the gameplay is excellent, improving on the first Super Mario Land game many times over. A lot of creativity went into the design and creation of this game. There's still quite a bit of quirkiness about it, which is kind of the hallmark of this one and its predecessor, possibly due in part to the fact that Mario's creator Shigeru Miyamoto was not involved with the creative process of these games. Despite that, you still have something that's pretty special as far as the original Game Boy is concerned. Mario's sprite looks inspired by that of his appearance in Super Nintendo's Super Mario World. The Koopa Turtles and Goombas appear like they do in other Mario games. The biggest holdover from the previous Super Mario Land game was the use of a heart instead of a mushroom for the 1-up. This is of course due to the fact that the original Game Boy being monochrome, there was no other way to differentiate a 1-up mushroom from a super mushroom. This is also why when Mario picks up a fire flower, he gets a feather in his cap, which I think is kind of a neat touch. But when you're talking about the power-ups in this game, you'd be remiss not to talk about the bunny ears. While not as overpowered as the raccoon tail or the cape, which appeared in the 2 Mario games prior to this one, it's still kind of a similar concept. It grants Mario the ability to hover. You can't completely fly over obstacles the way you could with the tail or the cape, but being able to have much more airtime and slow your descent is very useful. Another great feature of this game is the level design. You have an overworld map and you can travel from zone to zone freely. Once you complete an introductory level, you can pick any of the main zones in whatever order you choose. This is a feature I really like about this game. The different zones are all fairly unique from one another, and most of which are extremely original. The most interesting of these levels are the Mario Zone, which takes place in a large clockwork robot of Mario, the Pumpkin Zone, full of Halloween goodness, and the Moon Zone, which occurs in outer space, complete with Mario donning an astronaut suit. The Turtle Zone is your typical underwater level, but I always got a pretty big kick on how you enter the zone. Something quite interesting and kind of un-Mario-like about this game is the use of the coins. Instead of extra lives at 100 coins, you can collect up to 999 coins and gamble them away for extra lives. Ideally, as long as you can collect coins, you can gamble for extra lives, and since you can revisit the different levels over and over, you can just keep that going. Keep in mind, however, that you will be needing as many lives as you can get your hands on for that final level, because there is quite the difficulty spike at the end. Overall, this is one great looking game. I remember when I first saw pictures of it in Nintendo Power and was really surprised with the detail of the graphics. Quite impressive, especially for the monochrome handheld. The biggest con to the game, in my opinion, is that the music is extremely repetitive. Many of the songs in the game are just different arrangements of the same tune, which can get rather annoying at times, but there are a few other tunes in the game which are quite good. The final stage of the Moon Zone is a great little ditty. This is easily one of the best titles you will find in the original Game Boy library. In fact, I find it to be one of the absolute essentials, and it's very easy to come by, extremely common. You can find the game for well under $7 for just the cartridge. It is also available on the 3DS Virtual Console, so however you can get it, check it out. Hope you've enjoyed this review, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.